Let's start creating your look. Let's complete your player info. Your background sets the stage for who you are, both on and off the court. Let's start creating your look. If you haven't beard, scruff, or clean shaven, your path to facial hair greatness starts here. Now it's time to decide what kind of player you want to be. First, let's choose your player. Now, let's define your style of play. This will determine the impact you have. Now, it's time to choose your player's height and weight. Every choice you make here will affect your player's physical capabilities, both good and bad. So choose wisely before you lock in.
Already know what you want, so why you keep hitting my phone? Thought you was with it before, just wait till I get in my zone. Stop all this silly talk, Marvin told me never. Certain things that start to pick up on. You cannot trick me, the jig is up. Never know, just like, evidently you don't. Little boy ain't no chump. Really don't.
Like millions of other kids, you dreamed of one day being in the NBA. You wanted to be a star, and someday to rise above and become the greatest to ever play. You dreamed of being the one. But it's never easy. There are obstacles, injuries, and disappointments. Adversity is universal. It can happen to anyone at any time. And one day, it happened to you. You went from being a guaranteed lottery pick to a kid who may never even play college ball again.
Now, look, it's always bad to hear about injuries, especially to college kids, of course.
Yeah.
But Stephen A. Smith, this one is particularly disheartening because we are 2 weeks into the season and one of the top NBA prospects in the country goes down potentially with a season-ending injury, a knee injury. That's a killer.
I couldn't agree more. When I heard he was carried off the floor today, all you can do is find yourself hoping that he'll make it back. That's the bottom line. My heart goes out to him because I didn't expect this. This is a devastating injury. It's never good to have something like this happen to you.
The team doctor broke the news. Torn ACL, sprained MCL, and a torn meniscus. Surgery was scheduled, but your game will likely never be the same. At the 2016 NBA draft, your name is still mentioned. Not as a prospect, but as a cautionary tale.
Now, there's another huge story in this year's draft. A record number of underclassmen, 30 of them, undrafted. And I hope, anyway, that this is a lesson. This serves as an example to college players. I'm not talking about the ones who are genuinely one and dones, the guys you know are going to be lottery picks. I mean the rest of them. They're not sure shots. You're not sure they're going to be lottery picks. Don't just use the college system for a year thinking you're going to bounce. It doesn't work like that. If you don't have the talent, it doesn't work. You got to be cultivated in the system.
Please. There you go again with your blanket generalizations. You know how you are, oh, Max, the woe is me. Oh, my Lord, I can't take it. I just can't take it. It's a case-by-case basis. You can't just blanketly decide this should not be one and dones or this should. You got to take this into consideration. You had two dudes. They were called the Hype Brothers. Then you had Nick Howard. This kid had a lot of promise. What does he do? He goes to college. Very uneventful first year, no doubt. The second year, he was pretty good. Here's the problem. The NBA, it's not about pretty good. You need to be great on the collegiate level, on the prep level, in summer leagues and what have you, in order for you to get the stature that you deserve. That's the bottom line. It's pretty good ain't good enough to be that stud NBA.
How is exactly my point.
Let me finish. There's another example. I did say the Hype Brothers. I wasn't talking about one individual. I was talking about two. What happens? One and done in a different way. 1 year, one ACL injury later, and look where he's at now. His future is clearly uncertain. So you got to take advantage of that opportunity because you never know when an injury is going to cost you everything.
Stephen A., listen to yourself. Let's listen to yourself for a second. You give one argument for why a kid should come out early, a one-and-done situation. I can give you 30 arguments this morning alone why they should stay in school. And now you have to wonder what a kid like Nick Howard, who has given up his college eligibility, does next. What does he do next?
First of all, don't sweat the technique, the argument, or one argument. As long as it's strong enough, that's all that matters. That's number one. Number two, the Hype Brothers was something special. What they really, really need to do. I'm going to tell you what they need to do, Max. They need to get back to playing together. My sources are telling me the ACL injury has been completely healed. So go on a pro-am circuit. Go in summer leagues. Do what you got to do to get back on the court together to remind everybody of what you once were. Because once you pull that off, the sky's the limit. That's what they need to do. Get back to playing ball together, because when people see what you can do as one, the other arguments don't really matter. Like I said, don't sweat the technique.
Free This is New York City, the mecca of basketball. The original Rucker League began here in 19
US 156 playground. Those early Rucker days showcased talents like Lou Alcindor, Wilt the Stilt, and Earl the Pearl. It's also where Julius Erving became the Doctor. In 1974, the park was respectfully renamed Holcomb Rucker Park in honor of the tournament founder. Now, many have influenced the growth of the Rucker since, but none more heavily than the late great Greg Marius, founder of the EBC. Many would argue that the Ruck is the birthplace of true street ball and the crossover dribble. Considering New York City's penchant for flashy guard play, there are few who can challenge that. After the legendary exploits of Rucker alumni like Rod Strickland, Rafer Alston, and Kyrie Irving, it goes without saying that getting crossed up or banged on can happen to anybody at any given moment here. It's no wonder that this unassuming uptown playground has become the most widely recognized street ball court in the world. Rucker Park, Harlem.
out of here. Babies.
Play of the game.
Performance grade 81. Good shit. Good shit. E-Garage.
Who the number one rocker? All about the bread like it's chala. Know my ladies like a sauna. Know they all rockin' the zana. No fighting, you don't want wahala. No one but I got that chopper. Burn until your head act proper. Overseas money get a lotta. Pounds, naira, dollar. 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 Pounds, naira. You can sit bench, be a player. Rap game playing, tunes you got flavor. Yeah, we poppin' all the way from Lagos to Vegas. Did it for the culture, proud that I made this. Raise your hands up, where you feel the bass, yeah, real now. Like on a spaceship in the crowd, yeah. I see it going, nigga. I'm wild out as soon as that refrain hit. Pounds, naira, dollar. 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 Pounds, naira.
So we got the 40 up in Venice Beach.
Say, words in the song, getting happy in the bed. And I gotta be like, wait today. Looking
beautiful Venice Beach. A place like no other, fit with a cast of characters and all the sun, sand, and shoreline you can handle. But Venice Beach basketball brings a completely different kind of beauty to the beach. A beauty made of long-range jumpers, meta-world peace-level defense, and some of the best athletic ability in the West. And it ain't news. Since the heyday of the OG Ray Lewis dropping 50 on Michael Cooper in the 80s. Since Freedom Williams put up 75 in a college game. Since Ron Beals created the trend of street ball legends pushing the pros to their very limits under the scorching California sunshine. Long before baggy shorts and the elbow sleeve became the universal uniform of choice, every guard at Venice has been a menace. And the rule here is, you reach, we teach. Teach your defense the definition of pressure, then big men, pack a lunch. It's gonna be a long day down there in the paint. Out here, the days are long and the handles are strong. Are you ready to get busy on the beach? Venice.
Shit, nigga. Pass the ball. speeding up and shit. Nice. Sling that shit, bitch. That's cool. Game point right here. Double team, yo. Nothing but net, nigga.
Play of the game.
Shit, easy motherfucking A. Points over this nigga report. Shit.
Perception of
skies over Puget Sound, and plenty of umbrellas on sale in Seattle. Home to the Crossover League, a place where jump shots fall from the indoor sky wet like the rains of Pacific Northwest folklore. Summer in the city ain't been the same since Quincy Jones soundtrack Jamal's first summer here. Broken ankles, 40-point outbursts as regular as the sunrise, and a foundation that makes the game far more important for everyone in the gym. A place where you can see Zach LaVine walking amongst the clouds with ease, where you can see Isaiah Thomas finding his fourth quarter mojo, cooking at 90 degrees. A place where undersized dunk champs like Nate Robinson first flew through the Summer League trees. Yeah, it can get a little bit gray outside, but in the gym at Seattle Pacific University, the matchups and highlights are considered some of the most colorful in the world of summertime ball. Fluid, yet rough and tumble, just like the city it calls home. It's deeper than just a game here. Everybody wins. Everybody contributes. A real team effort for the ages. Seattle.
Why don't you still can't make that shit? Fuck out of here. Okay, so you stink. You go no damn where. No, don't take that.
game.
Still doing better than my matchup though. So, ain't what, people.
And there was some excitement last night in the Pacific Northwest on the Pro-Am circuit as the Hype Brothers made their debut at Seattle Pacific. Stephen A. Smith, what'd you think of the performance?
What I want to really say is that, first of all, it was about time. It's nice to know that the brothers listened to me, because I was the one talking about how they needed to play together. They accepted the counseling that I provided.
Yes, you did.
Now they are out on the court again, handling their business. Nick Howard looked pretty good. The comeback kid truly looked like the comeback kid. Seems like he's completely healed from that ACL injury. I like what I saw. I was very impressed. And more importantly, I want to applaud their intellect, listening to the wisdom that I espoused. They deserve a lot of credit.
You just love taking this bow, don't you? And look, I'm not taking any credit away from them or for you for that matter.
Okay.
But shouldn't we contextualize this a little bit? It was a very impressive performance. There's no denying it. But it is one game. And how shall I say this? I think we need to be cautious about overstating the level of competition here.
Well, there's no doubt about that, but at the same time, it's whether or not they're taking the proper steps towards prosperity. Bottom line is they did step one. Now, step two, I'm hearing they're going to show up in the Dyckman League. We're hearing that they're going to show up and perform there. We'll see how they do in that particular situation. But the hype is real because people who have watched them over the years are seeing similarities now to what they saw back then. And that's
Well,
the
the
most
hype is
Believe the
definitely real.
hype.
I'm not saying believe the hype.
Don't believe the hype, but believe the hype.
I'm not saying believe the hype. I'm not saying don't believe the hype. I'm
Nah,
simply
definitely
saying
believe the
don't
hype.
poo-poo anything right now. Let's wait and see. Let's wait and see.
Definitely believe the hype.
Using me as poo-pooing?
Possibly, quite possibly.
I may have
you
poo-pooed
are
a little
negative,
bit.
Max. You are
I
negative,
may have
Max.
poo-pooed a little bit.
Maybe.
This nigga feel like Simon and shit. Seen America's Got Talent, nigga. man. They kick hard.
Shines brightly over the high court of uptown hoop dreams, precariously divided between Washington Heights and Inwood. Between the whistles and beneath the project towers is where a young Lou Alcindor changed from a boy to the prototypical big man, perfecting the sky hook and agility unprecedented. Part and parcel of a history fathoms deep, where 3,000 highlight-hungry fanatics crowd the fence weekly to bear witness to the greatness of guards like Eric Opio, a.k.a. El Presidente, disrupting any and all defenses. J.R. Smith and Kemba Walker, perfecting their seasonal alley-oops and step-backs. Dominican Power, raining long-range crossover dreams on Uptown's friendliest rims. Young men with names like Too Hard to Guard, formerly de Leon, before his handle made him the stuff of legend. New York City's Black Top Kingdom. Many would say this is the most entertaining outdoor ball in the city. Between the lines and in the paint, and with a style and grace that can only be found uptown. We are New York City basketball at its very best. Dykeman.
face, nigga. Wide open, still can't make that. Get the fuck out of there. out of here, bitch. Stick that D, stick that D. Hell yeah. Alright, good shit. Stick that D, stick that D. Stop playing. Good shit. Damn, my ice cold out here. Good shit. Get that ball back. Don't let him score. Good shit. Ah, you dumb motherfucker. Get shit out of here. Oh yes, game.
Play of the game.
Drew League, jewel of South Central LA. Since 1973 in the activist dreams of one Mr. Alvin Willis on the corner of Compton and Firestone. A 6-team startup turned invite-only ball player's dream. Designed to motivate the community and destined to redefine West Coast Pro-Am basketball. Iconic head-to-head battles with the likes of Harden, Young, DeRozan, and Kobe. Hotbed for countless young high school, street, and college stars just the same. And the word on the street is, no excuse, just produce. Mr. Dino Smiley commissioned a change in '85, and the pros showed up to 120th and Compton by the dozen in 2011, completing the transformation of King Drew Magnet High, from just another school gym to a fully bannered arena for one and all in the heart of Compton. All for the community, all for the game, all for love. The Drew League, Compton.
Wow. Stop the nigga in his tracks. Like that. Kyrie lost his game. Might lose his game.
Hey man, good to see you balling again. You have all the tools. Just keep working hard and play your game. I'll be watching you this year and gunning for you in the NBA draft.
Play of the game.
Maybach music.
You scared to die?
After a summer playing street ball and pro-am games, you head back to school for your junior year. From the first week on, you have a spectacular season. You mounted an incredible comeback that few thought was possible. The reporters, the scouts, and the coaches all see your potential. Not only the potential to play in the NBA, but the potential to be a star in the league. And at the end of the season, there's little doubt about where you're headed next.
Stephen A., it is one thing to come back from a catastrophic knee injury. That's hard enough. But there is a consensus now, and I agree with it. Comeback Kid is better now than he was before. I mean, he has come all the way back and then some.
Well, I appreciate the intellect on your part because it's indisputable, and why make a point that can be disputed. You're very, very wise not to do that, Max Kellerman. I'm very proud of you. But in the end, here's the bottom line. He's exceeded all expectations. He's going about doing the things the right way. He's expanded his skills in the pro-am. Everybody has noticed. That's a very, very big deal. So I'm very happy about that.
It is. So far be it for me to agree with you. But look, there were questions heading in. There were skeptics who had these questions. And I think at this point, it is safe to say that this is NBA ready. You know NBA ready when you see it. You saw it. This is NBA ready.
He's got a mentor in James Harden now, from what I'm hearing. Scouts and general managers in the NBA have been lauding his talents. They say that this kid is real. He's ready. He's legit. So when we look at it from that perspective, the next thing up is the NBA scouting combine. He performs on that level. Obviously, that's a big deal. Now, we'll all be watching. We'll wait to see what happens. But guess what? We wouldn't be able to watch you if you weren't invited. So the fact that you were invited is a big deal, and major props to him for that.
And we will be there. ESPN will be there from Chicago, updating our live ESPN mock drafts. It will be an interesting several days in the Windy City.
Go.
United States.
states in fear. London know I'm a phantom, South Korea knows I'm here. Posted, planet without exception. Rise to your feet for this rarity. Nas a Dilla beat, the fly soliloquy of chaos. Don't make me dust it. I don't take a day off. We can have a look, bro. I book more shows than Irvin Azov. Chain gang, no jail reference, a talking necklace. Shorty say I'm crazy, ain't messing with me. Then calls, having this with me. Says I'm intellectually stimulating. Plus, when in the system, hitting the yang, the benefits of being a man who capable to change it into a queen. The knots in my pocket gets a lot of hating, but the hating gets them all to watch the hustling, and the hustling gets them all to pay attention to my calculated moves, how I'm staying richin'. My what, where's, and whys has me fresh at YSL. Gazelle, the slacks, Master Lambin, necktie so well, Boateng, Oswell jacket, of flyers. Get out your chair, the season of
we're here gonna do my draft pick.
The season. This is the season. The season. I am art. I am the tattoos on your arm. On the wood.
You have to go to line. Nice. Ooh, be nice. On this one.
Play of the game.
Bag, number 12 on the draft picks. Okay, time for the draft.
As we've discussed, Stephen A., this is one of the most talented classes, maybe the deepest draft class to come out in the last decade. And in spite of all that talent coming out, there is one story that has dominated the headlines coming into the draft, and that is the story of the comeback kid. We now have him going number 10 in the draft. Stephen A. Smith, your thoughts?
Well, I think the mock
number
draft
10
is right
overall
over the head.
pick.
The fact of the matter is you got raw and untapped talent in this draft. But this kid, his heart, his moxie, his guts, his willingness to face adversity in the face and conquer it, I give a lot of credit to him. When I'm thinking about a potential NBA, I'm thinking about those things because the one thing that is sure to arrive is adversity. Can you handle it? Anybody can deal with things when the sun is shining, but can you stand the rain, Max Kellerman? Can you stand the rain?
Look, heart, yes, he has heart. But you know what the heart bone is connected to?
Oh,
the
boy.
knee bone. I mean, look, he has heart, yes, but teams are cognizant that this kid had a major knee injury, and they take that into consideration. So I think the comeback kid will be coming back down in the draft a little bit.
You annoy me with this. First of all,
You
one
like
minute
that
you're a
turn of
nice
the
guy.
phrase?
The next, one minute you're a nice guy. The next thing you know, you turn around and all of a sudden look at you guys trying to poo-poo on this guy's
Brother,
parade.
the
Come
truth-
on.
The truth can hurt.
Oh,
Not my fault.
You don't know whether it's true or
I
not.
don't make
Have we
the
seen
rules.
draft?
Hey,
Have we
hey,
seen the
hey,
draft
hey.
yet? We haven't seen the draft yet. You might be very, very wrong, Max. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to keep this tape of you trying to sit up there and rain on this dude's parade. I'm going to keep this tape, and I'm going to ask him to roll it back again and again and again until you apologize.
I will do the same for you, my friend. And on that note, we are ready for the NBA draft.
Yes, we are.
With the first pick in the 2017 NBA Draft, the Philadelphia 76ers select Markelle Fultz. With the second pick in the 2017 NBA Draft, the Los Angeles Lakers select Lonzo Ball. With the third pick in the 2017 NBA Draft, the Boston Celtics select Jason Tatum. With the fourth pick in the 2017 NBA Draft, the Phoenix Suns select Josh Jackson. With the fifth pick in the 2017 NBA Draft, the Sacramento Kings select De'Aaron Fox. With the sixth pick in the 2017 NBA Draft, the Orlando Magic select Jonathan Isaac. With the seventh pick in the 2017 NBA Draft, the Minnesota Timberwolves select Lauri Markkanen. With the eighth pick in the 2017 NBA Draft, the New York Knicks select Frank Ntilikina.
Okay, Mavericks. I don't even like that.
The draft is over, and your comeback is complete. You faced adversity, you tested your game on the streets, and now you've made it to the NBA. But your rise has just begun. So remember, greatness doesn't come easy, but by choosing your own path, it's always within reach. So, are you ready to be the one?
Alright, basketball fans, that does it for the NBA Live 18 demo. So I'm gonna catch y'all. I don't know if I'm gonna get the game or not. But I'm gonna catch y'all in the NBA 2K18 prelude. So yeah, catch y'all.